According to new reports that came out late last week, Donald Trump's political action committees, which the reports say Trump has complete control over, have paid more than $2 million in the past year to law firms that are representing witnesses that are speaking to the January 6th Select Committee. More than $2 million. Now that's a drop in the bucket, right, for these political action committees that Donald Trump has. We know that combined, well over $100 million they're sitting on. They can afford it, right? That's not the problem. The problem is this money could very easily be construed as witness tampering, as witness intimidation. And I'm not saying that because that's what I think. I'm saying that because certain members of Congress have actually raised that possibility. And this, of course, is something that the January 6th committee is supposed to be looking into as well. Representative Zoe Larin from California, Democrat, said this recently. Some of that money is being used to pay for lawyers for witnesses. And it's not clear that that arrangement is one that is without coercion potential for some of those witnesses. Now, Zoe Larin was, of course, trying to use better language, I guess, than what I would use. Because she didn't want to directly imply, of course, that this money is being used to coerce these witnesses into cooperating with Trump instead of the committee. But that is what, is the obvious appearance, at least, of what's happening. We can't say for certain that that is what's happening. But the appearance doesn't look too good for Donald Trump and his buddies. Not to mention, of course, the fact that we have testimony from people like Cassidy Hutchinson, who was one of the people that was having her lawyers paid for from this money, admitted to getting messages from, the people she used to work for in the Trump administration saying, we know you're loyal, right? We know you're loyal. By the way, we're paying your bills. So, to me, that's what this appears to be. Again, this is my opinion. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I do think that there's a bit of a wink and a nod here. Like, don't forget who's here for you. Don't forget who's paying the bills, right? You dance with who brought you. And we're the ones who are bringing you here. So, maybe don't forget who you're loyal to. Now, those words, loyal, right? It's one that Trump and his buddies love to use, loyal. Who are you loyal to? Are you loyal to the rule of law and the Constitution, the boring old document from hundreds of years ago? Or are you loyal to your buddies? We gave you a good job. We gave you a home. We gave you friendship. We gave you love. Don't you want to show us the same thing? Now, unfortunately, unless you can find a document or a recording of these individuals, saying these things and outright implying that we're paying your bills, so you better play ball. If you cannot prove that with that evidence, then you can't prove that this is tampering. You can't prove that people are changing their testimony without that hard evidence. And right now we do not have it. We have a couple of, statements from some of these witnesses that would seem to suggest that this has happened, but there is no hard evidence. So unfortunately, we can't stop it. We can't file charges for witness tampering. We kind of have to sit and wait for the committee to look at these things. But I will say, if witness tampering is the goal, given how sloppy these people have been in the past, which we've found out from the January 6th committee, it would likely seem that there would be evidence of it, right? They're not very good at what they do. So if their goal was to tamper with the witnesses, they probably did say that at one point. And if they did, the committee will find it. But if that's not their goal, if that's just a byproduct, if they're doing it out of the goodness of their hearts, then there's nothing wrong with it. But I think we can all kind of read between the lines here, right? I think we could all kind of figure out what's probably happening, but we won't be able to prove any of it unless that evidence exists and emerges, which is what the January 6th committee is looking into right now. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel. We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.